Good afternoon, CFM. It's Coach Matt with our Wednesday workout. We're gonna do some body weight training. This looks like a Murph Prep workout. It's never not Murph Prep season. So if you feel like doing all or a portion of this one with a vest, that would be a great idea if your intention is to do Murph with a vest at any point in the future. And as always on these workouts, if you feel like doing some of it with the vest, like maybe the first round or work your way up to it, that is totally fine. You can take it on, take it off, put it on as you see fit, okay? Not required at all. So let's begin with the warm up 3 times through, 10 calories on your choice of road bike or ski. Grab your PVC pipe out. Let's do some PVC pipe pass-throughs. After you finish the pass-throughs, we're gonna do some overhead squats. So on the overhead squats, use this as an opportunity to continue working on the shoulder mobility by keeping the elbows straight, reaching the bar behind your neck, and stretching out the bottom position. We're not doing a lot of reps of these, so take your time with them. Especially if hips is an issue for you, make sure you're reaching extra low at the bottom to stretch it out. And one of the other concepts that we like to use in our warm-ups is I'd like for you to exceed the normal range of motion in the warm-up when you are unloaded, so that when you are loaded or when you're doing a little bit faster speed in the workout, that you can control that end range instead of having the limitations of your joints control the end range and maybe like bouncing off your hip labrum as opposed to stretching the muscles in the hips and the groin, okay? So then after we do that, we're gonna do our bench T-spine rotations. So for this one, this is like an elevated hand position, thread the needle. So from the knees and hands position right here, child pose, and then I'm reaching the back of my hand along the ground and then twisting and trying to follow my fingers up to the sky, getting 4 reps on each side like that. And that feels so good. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it on the other side too. Oh yeah. And if you're like me, you'll get a couple free little low back pops out of that feel really nice, okay? All right, so now we're gonna work on the setup for the workout. 3 exercises and 1 piece of cardio. So pull up, push up, and air squat. And then the running is the cardio. So for our pull-ups, since we're doing 3 rounds of 25, I would like for you to set up a light-ish resistance, something that you can get 8 to 12 reps minimum without stopping on your first set. And the goal here would be that I am sticking with the same resistance all the way through the workout, but it's a light resistance to start off with, right? So if you start off with something that is very, very heavy, where I can only do 2 or 3 reps, and then you go down in resistance, it's gonna cost you some time to change that setup. Not the end of the world, but what is our desired stimulus is that we're going at a relatively light but quicker pace for these bodyweight movements on the pull-ups. So that means maybe we're doing, for the pull-ups, we could do a jumping pull-up, right? Or a band-assisted pull-up. Any of those would be fine. If you're going to do kipping pull-ups, remember that the gym rule is you gotta have 3 to 4 unassisted strict pull-ups before you go unrestricted kipping in a high volume workout like this one, which has 75 pull-ups in it, okay? So we're gonna do 3 rounds through of 25 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, 75 air squats. On the push-ups, some of the details I'd like to see are that the elbows get all the way straight at the top in the plank body position, and then at the bottom, I have chin, chest, and thighs all touching the ground at the same time, and then back up. So make sure we're not kind of leaning back and just getting like most of your body touching the ground, or even like almost touching. So this is my rib cage touching the ground, but not my chest, right? So try to reach as deeply as you can into that movement. And the purpose of that is to get as much stretch on the pecs as possible to get the maximum development and the maximum stimulus on the muscles, okay? That is the series of movements. The time component here is going to be, you get as deep as you can into that, and then at the 5-minute mark, we're gonna say 3, 2, 1, switch, and you need to drop what you're doing, remember where you're at, and go run out the door. We're getting a 1-mile run. If running does not agree with you from like a joint perspective, not from like a I don't want to perspective, but from like an orthopedic reason, then we can swap in either a row or a bike for something for that. And I would like for you to make it in that 8 to 10 minute range. If you want to row, just row a 2K. If you want to do a bike, we'll just set it at a time limit, right? And you go at a medium hard pace for whatever you think a mile would take you. If that's 10 minutes, that's great. If it's 8 minutes, that's great. But make sure it's a relatively challenging pace. We're not asking you to sprint for that mile, but keep it at that same workout intensity. And then as you come back in, you pick up right where you left off. You don't have to do any more running once you've completed that 1 mile, and then you finish your 3 rounds, and the whole thing is 4 times, okay? And that is it for today for this bodyweight training workout. Hope you guys had a great one. I'll see you for low and slow tomorrow.